Welcome, everyone. Today we're going to show how to test a GOES satellite transmission antenna on the automatic data collection platforms. We'll explain how to align the antenna, how to calculate its azimuth and elevation, and how to perform continuity tests to check whether it's shorted or not. Finally, we'll demonstrate how to verify if the field service was carried out properly. Here, I'll show you a software developed by the National Water and Basic Sanitation Agency called GOES Antenna Positioner. You enter the latitude and longitude data, and it calculates the antenna's elevation and azimuth. The latitude and longitude are entered here at the top, and you must select north or south. In this case, our latitude is south, and our longitude is west. Let's enter the data for Brasilia, minus 16 degrees, which means 16 degrees south and 49 degrees west. Click Calculate. It shows that the elevation is 55 degrees, and the azimuth is 299 degrees, according to True North. To calculate the inclination and azimuth of the GOES antenna, we first need to input the latitude and longitude information into a software called GOES Positioner. The latitude and longitude values can be obtained from a cell phone GPS or a simple GPS device. It's important to note that for calculating the azimuth using a cell phone, you need to disable the magnetic north setting. This way, the azimuth will be calculated correctly based on the latitude and longitude provided by the software. In this case, ours was 299 degrees. As soon as you enter the latitude and longitude, the GOES Positioner will calculate and display the antenna's inclination and azimuth values. Now, we'll check the antenna's continuity test to see if it's shorted or not. For that, we need to use a multimeter to verify if the internal and external connections of the antenna cable are shorted with element number 4 of the GOES antenna. The test is very simple. Basically, the outer part of the cable must show continuity in 2 elements and must not show continuity in the other 2. Next, we switch the probe to the inner part of the cable and repeat the test to verify continuity again. As you can see, the antenna is not shorted. This test is very important to ensure the antenna's integrity. This is a website called DCS, where we check the transmission message. Once you open DCS1, you enter the ID configured in the automatic data collection platform. You also enter the start and end times of the transmission message you want to view, as well as the username and password of the registered user who can access this data. By clicking Submit, the system displays the transmitted data. Now I'll explain what each of these pieces of information means. The first line shows the transmission ID. The second indicates the selected channel, in this case, 207. The third shows the baud rate configured in the transmission modem. Here, it was 300 bits per second. This part is the most important for verification because it shows the signal quality. In this example, the signal strength was 43.9. Values above 40 are considered good. Below 40, the signal may start to fail, and below 35, it often fails completely. Here, we got 43.9, which is good. Next is the phase, which was 1.47. The closer to 0, the better. The signal quality was 100%, and the frequency was 6.5. The closer these values are to 0, the better. To get the phase and frequency closer to 0, you need to fine-tune the antenna alignment, sometimes turning slightly left or right, or adjusting it up or down. That's how you reach almost perfect numbers. Next, we have the transmission message details. It started on August 4, 2025 at 13:36:50 and ended at 13:36:59. meaning it took 9 seconds to transmit. The transmitted signal quality was rated G, meaning good. The satellite used was GOES-19, the transmitter type was CS2, and the transmission message length was 284 characters. Finally, every transmission message is configured according to the specific type of station.